Hi, my name's Shelby. My group members and I are going to be talking about Chapter 13, which is about leading growth and counseling groups. The basic concepts that we will be covering in this chapter are growth groups, counseling and therapy groups, interpersonal effectiveness, psychological health, self-actualization, and self-help groups. In addition to solving a problem or completing an assignment, groups can also function as a way of helping people grow and change in constructive ways. A wide variety of therapeutic groups aim at achieving many different personal growth goals. What they have in common is an emphasis on members improving their psychological health, their happiness, their effectiveness, and their confidence. A number of therapeutic events promote the achievement of these personal growth goals. Individuals may change themselves in isolation away from others by doing one-on-one with a counselor, a therapist, even a minister or a friend, or by participating in the small groups such as growth, counseling, or therapy groups that we're talking about today. Groups, however, have several unique powers that make them the ideal setting for personal change. In this chapter, the therapeutic power of groups will be discussed along with the conditions under which therapeutic events may be promoted. So today, I'm going to be teaching you specifically about growth groups. Growth groups focus on emotional growth, improved interpersonal relationships, and group skills. They include T groups, encounter groups, human relations training groups, and structured growth groups. Some goals in growth groups include decreasing self-defeating patterns and increasing self-enhancing patterns of behavior and attitudes, increasing the ability to build and maintain humanizing relationships, increasing psychological health and decreasing psychological pathology, increasing self-actualization and increasing interpersonal effectiveness. Growth groups effectively take advantage of the benefits of small groups by bringing people into contact with one another to develop interpersonal skills and personal insights that lead to more satisfactory relationships in all parts of the participants' lives. Now, getting into the specific growth groups, I'm going to start with T groups, which is also known as sensitivity training groups. T groups refer to groups whose primary emphasis is on studying the development of the group and the relationships among the members. The use of T groups has proved popular for several reasons. They use an inductive method of teaching group dynamics. They involve learning through experience, and they generate personal learning and emotional experiences by examining the interaction among members. Basically, T groups are about learning how to interact with others, learning to communicate more effectively, and to learn how others see them and vice versa. Next, we have encounter groups, which has been promoted by psychotherapist Carl Rogers. These groups are about participants accepting and trusting their feelings, and they are encouraged to encounter one another authentically. The facilitator displays unconditional positive regard and helps participants experience and express their intense feelings. And to do this, role-playing may be used, as well as encouraging members to explain their present behavior in terms of past experiences. Now we have human relations training groups. These groups focus on getting members to interact effectively with individuals from different ethnic and cultural backgrounds by allowing its members from diverse backgrounds to study their interactions and build better relationships with each other. The intended outcome from this is that group members will develop insights into cultural differences and learn how constructive relationships among diverse individuals can be built and can also be kept. Finally, we have the structured growth groups, which all of the exercises in this book actually are examples of structured growth group exercises. These groups focus on specific interpersonal problems and or skills. In order to gain these skills, assertiveness training is used. Also, many organizations around the world use these structured growth groups in their workshops and their seminars. And that wraps up my section, and now we're going to go to Devin.
Thank you, Shelby. My name is Devin Torres. And I'm going to be talking about therapeutic and counseling groups. Therapeutic and counseling groups focuses on thinking and how that thinking affects behavior, self, and others. Therapeutic groups focus on individual growth and change at the psychological level. There are 10 different therapeutic groups that I will be discussing today. Each has a different theory based on how issues arise. It's a framework by which a leader uses to approach issues. And for the purposes of this presentation, I have divided them into 3 categories, even though some of the therapeutic groups can fall under more than one category. The different categories are psychodynamic, which is how a person is influenced by the past, and it shows up in the unconscious. Humanistic, which is how a person experiences an event, and the belief that people are self-actualizing and have the ability to change within themselves. And the last one is cognitive behavioral therapy, and this is the thinking and beliefs of a person and how an environment and relationships affect that person. The first one I'm going to focus on is psychodynamic, how the past influences the present. Psychoanalytic groups is an approach that was founded by Sigmund Freud. It is believed people avoid conflicts by repressing them. It is a talk therapy. Participants are encouraged to discuss memories, fears, fantasies, and dreams. Facilitators may offer interpretation or use transference to find roots of their problems. The Adlerian group therapy was founded by Alfred Adler. He believed people felt inferior to others because of their relationships with adults as children. This, he believed, caused people to seek mastery, superiority, power, and perfection over and with others. Because issues were caused in a social setting, it is a social setting that issues must be resolved. It is about reorienting themselves to others. Each member helps others gain perspective. This type of therapy is also considered humanistic. Last one is psychodrama. Jacob Marino developed this type of support group. Participants act out past emotional experiences as dramas. He believed this way was more involved than just discussing things. Acting out the past is what helps participants overcome reluctance to share private and upsetting issues. This is also considered humanistic and systemic, which means it deals with relationships. Then we go to person-centered or humanistic. The first one is the person-centered group psychotherapy, developed by Carl Rogers. Assumption is that people naturally move towards wholeness and self-actualization. It is assumed people can find their own way without much help. The facilitator's role is to create a safe environment that is empathetic, understanding, and genuine, so members lower their defenses. This environment allows members to explore themselves and work towards their goals. The next one is reality group psychotherapy. Based on the assumptions that people are motivated to fulfill their own needs and desires, each person determines how to do so in their current relationships. Emphasis is on how to control behavior to meet needs. People explore behavior and needs in a support group setting. This also falls under the cognitive behavioral. The next one is Gestalt group therapy. Fritz Perls is recognized as the founder of this therapy. This mode of therapy is about integrating and resolving issues of both mind and body. It increases clarity of one's goals, values and goals, and greater awareness of one's feelings and how they impact others. It focuses on resolving unfinished issues to reach potential. Perls viewed therapy as changing negative association of significant people in a client's life. If that person has died, they role play with an empty chair. Existential group therapy. This mode helps members confront the concerns of existence, dealing with the meaning and different aspects of life, death, relationships, isolation, and meaninglessness. This has a philosophical approach. Each member is free to determine their own meaning and values. Members are encouraged to take responsibilities. Members also explore these different aspects in a group setting. The last one is cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral group psychotherapy, it applies the theories of Skinner, the behavior theories of Skinner, and social learning theories of Bandura. Group members learn self-management skills to control their lives and deal with problems. Group members decide how they will change through the use of modeling, rehearsal, feedback, and reinforcement. Interpersonal group psychotherapy, based on the assumption that people's psychological problems happen because of relationship problems. There's anxiety and depression from either relationship with friends or romantic partners. Members explore relationship patterns by building relationships with group members. Patterns are identified and corrected within the group. Also considered systemic, again, meaning it deals with relationships. The last one, rational emotive behavioral group therapy, based on assumption of how things should be, starts at an early age. Assumptions lead to self-defeating behaviors and beliefs. Assumptions can cause depression or feelings of worthlessness, that what is happening is not according to a person's beliefs. To combat the person has to become aware of thoughts and engage them and replace them with new thoughts. Thank you, and now we're going to go to Katie.
Thanks, Devin. I'm Katie, and I'm going to be telling you about self-help and support groups and the unique power of group experiences. Self-help groups are self-governed, meaning there are no experts leading them. Facilitators are group members and hold no power. The belief is that the people living with the problem are the best resource for finding ways of coping and dealing with the problem. Now that you have learned about the 3 different types of groups, I'm going to share with you the reason why group experiences are so powerful. Everyone has their own way of dealing with issues. Some people choose to isolate, and others choose to speak to somebody one-on-one. While both of those methods are helpful, group experiences provide unique advantages and ample opportunities for participants to learn, grow, and heal. Being part of a supportive group can give a sense of belonging and support that does not come from isolation or one-on-one therapy. Support from peers can build confidence and assist in personal growth and change. Supportive groups can also help people who would otherwise be feeling isolated, hopeless, and helpless by uniting them with others overcoming the same struggles. Seeing members who have changed because of their participation in the group can inspire hope and confidence. While reading the book, I struggled with the definition of a microcosm. So it is a small place, society, or situation that has the same characteristics as something much larger. Groups also function as a microcosm of the real world. Members in a growth or therapy group tend to recreate the same undesired interpersonal dynamics they have in the past. The benefit of doing this in a supportive group is that they are given the chance to learn constructive patterns of behaving and reasoning. This helps members learn to build healthier relationships. Another benefit of groups is the chance to recreate emotions. The facilitator may bring up emotions felt toward authority figures. A group member may bring up emotions felt toward a sibling or a childhood friend. The wider variety of people there are in the group, the greater the chance at recreating some of these feelings. Experiencing and discussing these previously upsetting feelings in a supportive and caring environment usually reduces the emotions and decreases their influence on members' future thinking and behavior. Groups provide multiple sources of social comparison. Members have a chance to see their problems are not unique, but rather a common human experience shared by others. Many people believe they're the only one experiencing unacceptable problems. Finding out other people feel the same way is a powerful source of relief. In growth and therapy groups, members making downward social comparisons compare themselves to someone who has even more severe problems to raise self-esteem and reduce stress. Or they make upward social comparisons by comparing themselves to someone who's coping effectively to identify ways of improving their own coping skills. Other benefits of group experiences include perspective taking. Members become more aware of and open to other perspectives. Groups promote the learning and use of a wide variety of social skills and competencies. In a growth and therapy group, the emphasis is on the mastery and adoption of more constructive ways of behaving and thinking. Helping others results in personal change, builds self-esteem, and provides an important opportunity for engaging in altruistic behavior that may be absent from members' daily lives. And group members gain a deeper understanding of themselves through other members' reactions to their behavior and disclosures. And finally, groups increase the quantity and quality of cognitive learning. We are going to go to Purcell.
Thank you, Katie. I'm Purcell Sisto, and I'm going to be discussing the importance of disclosing emotion and facilitating a growth group. So the importance of disclosing emotions. Change happens by expressing and experiencing positive emotions. Self-disclosure to a group is more powerful than self-disclosure to a single person. Intimacy and trust is developed among the group when self-disclosure is properly executed. It also depends on group members responding with acceptance, supportive, and caring feelings. The few stages of self-disclosure include orientation stage, superficial topics. During affective stage, discuss personal attitudes and opinions, but avoid disclosing helpful emotions and intimate details about themselves. Affective stage, positive and negative feelings and expressed towards one another's actions. And lastly, stable exchange stage, all personal feelings are shared. Some other factors of importance of disclosing emotions include change is encouraged by expressing emotions and describing emotional experiences. When group participants express hidden strong emotions, change can occur. Observing other group members with emotional experiences can promote beneficial change. Therapeutic effects can occur if members disclose strong emotional experiences to a supportive and caring group. In self-help groups especially, disclosure change is promoted by senior members, which may result in identification and reduced isolation for newer members. And finally, self-disclosure gives members some insight into their problems. Now we're going to discuss leading a growth group. Facilitation is needed in group therapy for significant results to occur. Group facilitators must possess several sets of complex skills. These skills include the following: establishing conditions for participant change, become aware of their ineffectiveness and self-destructive patterns of behavior and attitudes, change to effective and self-enhancing patterns of behavior and attitudes, stabilizing the new patterns of behavior and attitudes so they become automatic habit patterns, creating a strong sense of positive interdependence and commitment to a group's goals, promote a sufficient level of trust among group members, and promote participant hope and optimism. Other skills include being a resource expert, expertise in group dynamics. Facilitators must be able to create clear operational mutual goals, promote clear and accurate communication of ideas and feelings among members, and ensure that all members have equal access to power based on expertise. expertise in experiential. Facilitators need expertise in helping participants become aware of their action theories, engaging in improving effectiveness, assess the consequences in obtaining feedback on their behavior, as well as reflect, modify, and refine their action theories and patterns of behavior and attitudes. Expertise in approach to health and growth. Facilitators need to be experts in the approach to therapy being used in the group. Should always have solid knowledge in one of the social sciences, psychology or sociology, and ability to use their knowledge to help members understand what they are experiencing. Expertise in diagnosis. Facilitators need to be able to diagnose the personal and interpersonal problems experienced by group members. Other skills include teaching social skills and constructive patterns of behavior and reasoning. A lot of problems happen because of lack of social skills. Leaders help in facilitating the learning of these social skills. Not only teach, but be able to explain why certain behaviors are important. Modeling social skills and constructive behaviors. This means facilitators actually involve themselves with others. Leaders be, leader Leader models relationships by building relationships, ensuring opportunities for self-disclosure and experimentation. Because disclosure is key to growth, it is important that leaders facilitate, providing constructive feedback in confrontations. Leaders must ensure only constructive feedback happens and only when asked for. Helpful feedback is describing observed behavior and talking about the consequences of action taken. Destructive feedback is evaluating a person's self-worth. Other skills include promoting reparative emotional experiences, helping in eliciting emotions through feedback and exploring and repairing those emotions, guiding problem solving. Leaders help in clarifying other self-defeating patterns, helping with finding cause of problem, yet always showing empathy and unconditional positive regard. Establishing and maintaining a contract. Leaders help in making contracts with members. This contract outlines responsibilities of members and makes it clear not to blame others. Leaders maintain and ensure contract is enforced. Carrying out executive functions. Leaders function as administrators of groups, which include organizing and scheduling, conceptual framework, feelings, and institution, and a way of looking at members' behaviors and connecting it to a pattern that makes the behavior understandable, way that a leader approaches and looks at a group and its members. It is the structure of the group. It is a lens a leader uses to understand issues that come up. Even though feelings are important in understanding issues, they can be misleading. Intuition is helpful among highly skilled facilitators for problem solving, but should not be overused. To summarize this presentation, millions of Americans participate in groups aimed at personal growth, therapeutic change, or self-help groups. One important influence on personal change is the experience and expression of positive and negative emotions toward the action of other groups and about important life events. Emotional and self-disclosure often provokes insight into one's problems. Although participation in group therapy or self-help group may result in significant health producing experiences, a skilled group facilitator is needed to guide the process. Evidence show that all sorts of growth and counseling groups are effective, but no one approach seems to be more effective than others. And that concludes the presentation of Group 5, and we thank you very much.